Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sweet Talks podcast. My name is Chantal, aka Sweet Talks 777 on Instagram.
And my name is Nikima.
Okay, so we're joined again by our beautiful black brothers.
Yeah.
Jordan and Ambrose.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hi.
So today's topic is looking at the differences in wants and needs in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to discuss it from a couple of angles. I'm not sure who wants to kick off. Anybody want to kick off?
I know. I was thinking, actually, should we list the one?
Okay, so should we list the difference? So list the differences between wants and needs.
Or
Okay.
you've explained them first of all and then list them. So
Okay.
what would you say the differences between a want and a need?
Okay. So for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the difference between a want and a need is that a want is something that I think we could put it into like essential and optional. So
like
something that I would say that is essential
Mm-hmm.
would be a need. Something that is
Nice.
optional would be a want.
Yes.
So like I want him to have money.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I want it, but it wouldn't necessarily
Be a
be like
need-
a
a
deal
need.
breaker. Because as far as I'm concerned, I can make that P2. Do
I get that.
you get what I'm saying?
I get that.
A need would be, I don't know if I can say this. He needs to be black.
Listen.
But-
okay. Yeah.
Okay, he needs to be tall because I'm tall.
You can say black.
Yeah,
Can say black.
he needs
That's
to be tall
nothing
and
wrong.
black.
Nothing wrong with that. It's
Okay.
your preference.
That's what you need.
That's what.
Does anyone disagree with that?
I quite like that difference between want and need as essential
And optional.
and optional.
Yeah.
That is really good. I like
I
that
agree.
definition.
Thank you.
That's all right.
That's all. Everyone's like, that's all I have to add to this part of the conversation.
What about yourself?
I like
Jordan?
it.
I think it's interesting that it's. I'm sitting there thinking that what is essential and optional for me. I
I hear you.
don't know. I don't know what is and what isn't. Like,
It changes it, doesn't
Actually,
yeah, it does change.
it? It changes.
I think
It fluctuates.
Yeah, yeah, different parts of your life. I'm sure you'll need different things, but I'm not sure if I've ever sat down and thought I need anything from any person. Do you know what I'm saying?
in a
to you, like?
relationship, yeah.
I think
However,
I think the only requirement I think like the only thing that I think I've had is that like it's someone who's present in it. I think that's the
Okay.
only need, like to be to be with someone that can be present with you, can experience things with you, is willing to experience, is willing to have experiences. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that I can think of at the top of my head.
Remember what you were saying earlier about not being with a certain type of woman that you
Yeah.
can't be deep
Yeah.
with, sort of thing. That might be another one.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Or need
Need,
a need.
like you were saying, because you said it was difficult enough trying to do that in.
But I said it, and I say it because it's optional. I said I could be with that person, but it's not for. Do you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be for me personally.
Got you.
So
But
then,
I don't know if I need that person. I don't know if I need someone else in order to make myself. Does that make sense?
you definitely don't need that.
You
But
don't.
when it comes to a relationship, we do have to consider things having to be met. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like there's a purpose.
There's a
in-
reason why you're in
Yeah.
the relationship.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Whether it's closeness, whether it's children, whether it's a family unit, whether it's, companionship, anything. I think these are kind of needs as well.
They are needs. Yeah.
Yes.
Human needs.
Human needs, yeah.
And we can even go from a physical, we can go for the spiritual, we could go from the emotional.
Emotional.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's important, I think.
Which would they be? Would companionship be a want or a need?
Companionship is a need, I think.
I would say it's a need.
Because, as my perspective, I could be completely wrong, but I believe that all adults shouldn't be alone. And you don't necessarily need to be in a relationship. It could have companion friendship. Just be with someone.
Yeah.
We can't do it alone. Solitude is not for us.
Yeah.
We can be good for a certain period of time. Meditation, realignment,
Sure.
all that thing. But actually, for us to develop and grow, even just to get our emotional needs met.
Yeah.
Does it have to be romantic though?
No.
Not necessarily.
No.
Could there
Like
be
I was saying.
companionship?
Like
Yeah.
you and your, like I know these two twins. I don't know them, but I saw them in this place, 90 years old, and they were just twin women, and they were just best friends, and they've been best friends since they've been born.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether they're married or still married or whatever, but that's companionship. Like, that is, it doesn't have to be sexual at all. It's literally a bond and a connection.
But I guess as well, I think that would be more important than the physical part of it in terms of like you said, like the sexual bit, because like when you get older and certain things aren't working as they probably once were, as biology, dictates.
Yep.
Then, companionship is going to be the thing that keeps you guys together. The companionship is going to be the thing that is necessary or that is wanted or is going to fulfill you most of the time, because you're not going to have the other aspects of it.
And hugs
are
good for depression.
She's right.
I'm depressed, Nikema.
That sounded like one of them Instagram.
Yeah.
Hugs are good for depression.
They are, and I did see it on social media. It reduces stress, and it is, and it does release that kind of.
It gives you oxytocin, it gives you endorphins and stuff like that. So naturally, it would
natural drugs, people.
It would actually allow you to have some benefits. So I can see that.
What's more important then, a want or a need?
Needs. Yeah.
So why is it that we're driven by our wants?
Ooh. Ambrose came with the deep point. Okay.
That's a very good question.
I think it's probably just human nature. Because we're
society.
quite, and society. I think because we're in, what do I want to call it now without being rude? A consumerism kind of basis. Like we want it fast, we want it now, we want it. Yeah. I think that drives that a lot. And I think a lot of people get lost in the wants and forget about their needs.
Absolutely.
Whereas like sometimes your needs can be met, but because you're so focused on the wants, you forget the needs, and maybe you'll get what you want, but then you don't have what you need.
And either way, you're not happy.
Either way, you're not happy.
So can people want their need?
Can some people want their need? I guess a want and a need could be...
Does that make sense?
Wow.
Tongue twister.
You know what I mean?
Does that make sense?
Can some people want them need? I don't know. Nikema, you break that down for us, love.
So, let me think. All right. So. Let's bring it from that compassionate companionship, yeah? We say that's a need. People out there do feel that lonely feeling and know that if they did have that connectivity with someone, that would satisfy their need, so they want it. Does that make sense?
But then as soon as you step into that, does that just become a need?
So when you get the companionship, does it become a need?
No. As soon as you start wanting your need, it's something that you realise that you just need.
Okay. Okay.
Does it?
Because you're then just trying to attain a need, aren't you, really? Because if you're wanting...
I get what you mean, yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So would you guys say that there's different wants and needs between men and women?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I got it definitely.
That sounded a bit.
Definitely. And Jordan's there silently shaking his head. Jordan's just like, yeah.
You know, I find interesting observation that the observation when I look at like my friends' girlfriends, that people that females that have been around in their relationships and stuff like that. I feel like the way women and men form relationships is completely different. And I think part of the want and part of the difficulty that people get into is that, from my experience, women want they want their boyfriend to be their best friend.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if men necessarily want their girlfriend to be their best friend.
Sure. I get that.
Don't get me wrong. I think there's a special place. Like, I think there's a special place for you. I think there's a special place for your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying to you? Like,
no, Jordan.
You're right. Okay, you're right.
I agree.
And don't get me wrong. My girlfriend at the moment is honestly, she's my best friend. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Like, she's my best friend. I can talk to her about anything in the world. We can have intimate discussions, debates, disagreements, all that kind of stuff. But my friends hold a different place.
Agreed.
Does
that make sense?
Agreed.
And I wouldn't put them in the same place.
No,
as
you
close
wouldn't.
As close as we are, I wouldn't put them in the same place. It's conversation. I could talk to my girlfriend about anything.
Yeah.
Anything in the world.
Yeah.
I couldn't talk to my brethren about
certain things.
Certain things.
Yeah.
they're still my best friends though.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Sure.
And I think girls have, I think girls like have their boyfriends as their best and like their closest and only friend. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And boys experience a friendship completely differently.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the disparity between the wants and needs. Like, there's certain things where I can only talk to my boys about, and I can only experience. You can only have a man's opinion about.
Yeah.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
I said that in the last
feel
podcast.
like girls want to have everything and the friendship with their boyfriend.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I get that.
That's just my observation anyway.
In relation to, I mean, when we're talking about in regards to a relationship, I think women go for their need in a relationship, and men go for their wants in a relationship.
Break that down.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I hear that.
No, I know. I need to hear it clearer.
Love.
Break that down, please, honey.
So men are driven by their wants.
Uh-huh.
They want certain criteria, certain aesthetic aspects from a woman, whereas women need the kind of, I suppose, the what's the word I'm looking for, the real things of life.
I get
you. Yeah.
They
substantial things.
the substantial things.
Maybe.
They want, which crosses into the need.
Mm-hmm.
The man that's going to be there for them. That's that's going to support them. That's reliable. That's going to be the protector, and that's going to treat them the right way. Be the dad. Walk them down the aisle.
Yeah.
And all that. Whereas I think men just go for the short term gains initially for
and
a
I get
relationship.
I get that because men are more visual.
Yeah. And
women
then
are more
later on that kind of matures and develops and
We hope.
goes into
We hope. There are some 50-year-old men, 60-year-old
hell
men
to the yes
that are still trying
delusional
to chase their aesthetics and are ever so slightly delusional.
and embarrassing.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Hey, pretty girl. No.
Yes, Granddad.
Yeah, that's
I said,
yes, Granddad.
I nearly got slewed.
Yes, Uncle.
No, Granddad. I said, well, you look like
You look like one. You look like mine.
I had to say to one guy because he was like, "Oh, I like you now." He looks about 55. I said,
Yes, Dad.
"I don't mean to be rude, but if I took you home
Dead.
to my mum, she would be very disappointed."
Oh no!
Because you're similar to him. because you're similar to her age, and I would be disrespecting her. And he said it, and he couldn't believe that I said it. He could not believe it.
I can't believe he said it.
Oh, I did say it. I did say it very diplomatically, very nicely.
The savage.
I said it.
My mother would not like you.
Furthermore, you're not my type.
So you give me a second shot.
Whoa. Why don't you start with that?
Should I start with that? Yeah, I should have started with that one.
Give me a killer blow. As he's on the way down, you give my next one.
You know what? You know why I said that in the end? Because I don't know whether he thought that was the only reason, but it wasn't the only reason. So,
so you wanted to make sure
you know that your age is a number. Forget what Ilya said.
Age is more than a number.
It is.
Yes, it is.
I was going to say, I want children.
For what I need right now. Yeah, your age is a number.
My age.
Definitely. So, yeah. You're too old to give me what I need.
Yes.
Sorry, I know. I'm savage sometimes. But I was very diplomatic and I did it with a smile. And he was pleasant, and I was pleasant. Yeah.
So hold on, you shot him with a smile. Is that what you're trying to say? Oh wow.
Like, yeah. No, it's not.
I
happening.
love Nikki.
I can believe that.
I appreciate that.
I can believe that too.
Yeah, I do.
She shot him with a smile.
Yeah, I do. Because Sorry, I thought I'd
that's
self-disclose,
okay.
guys.
That's fine. Self-disclosure is perfect. Self-disclosure. Okay. So we were talking a bit about well, Ambrose kind of took it to men kind of chase their wants a bit more because it's more looking for more of the aesthetics and so on and so forth. And Jordan was kind of saying that how we form relationships might be different.
Yeah.
Which I agree with to an extent. But I don't know if it's because I guess I don't know. I feel like I should be able to be a man's everything, but not have to be. So, like, let's say, for instance, if everything hits the fan and it's just me and you in it, we can ride this thing out.
Ride
and we can definitely be good friends. I might get sick of you, you might get sick of me, but we're still
tight,
in this thing. So maybe that's probably why women form it differently. Whereas
I think that's a lot of pressure on a man.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're not saying that you have to. I don't necessarily want that, but if it has to happen, then
I agree. But I think you can have those. I think you can have both of those kind of relationships. I know that if me and my girlfriend were stuck on a desert for the rest of our lives together, we'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah.
We'd have reasonable lives. We'll be able to make it. As it stands at the moment, we have to make sure I'm relatively happy. Like, does that make sense? I have no qualms about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I know that I couldn't do the same if it was just me and my boys.
Yeah.
But the relationship is different.
It is.
Yeah,
I think the expectation from girls is different.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not saying that, I'm not using my relationship as an example. I'm just saying from my observations.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I see the way my sister interacts with her ex-boyfriend when they were together for 4 years, and I thought, right, it's actually like, my sister could go a week without seeing her friends.
Yeah.
And she'd be chilling with him, or he'd go and see his friends. She'd be just chilling with that. You know what I'm saying to you? And I feel like girls do that far more than boys do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if that's like, it's just from my observation, isn't it? Like, I just feel
I think you're right.
The relationship's different.
Yeah.
Although,
I think what I'm seeing as a pressure, though, that comment that you made about how you want to be your partner's everything. I think
No. You want to be able to be. I think that's it. I think it's like you want to be able to be, but not necessarily have to be.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, like if something happens and it has to be just you two, or like God forbid, a plane crashes and it's just you two stuck on a desert island or whatever else, you wouldn't kill each other. Like
you would go through it.
Yeah, you'd go through it. You'd be able to. Like, obviously, you're not going to be you're going to be each other's best friends, the whole time.
Yeah.
But you would be able to reconcile. You'd be able to be friendly with each other. You'd be able to be lovers to each other. You'd be able to be, like, survivalists together. Whatever the case may be, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I feel like space is good as well, obviously, to make strong relationships.
Distance.
Yeah. Missing the person that you've been with for years.
Yeah.
Is such a cool thing. You know what I mean? And that strengthens it.
Yeah.
Can't be in each other's pocket all the time. It's so difficult. It's such a strain. I think the pressure that you're talking about, Ambrose, I think from both sides.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
So that's a need, I think. Space is a need in a relationship.
That I'd worry about anybody who's in each other's pockets that much and you don't live together.
Even if you did. Even if you did live together, probably more so if you live together, there has to be a bit of space. There has to be a bit of missing. I know because
like you
of
go
life.
to work or whatever in the day, but you come together.
I'm talking about.
Am I missing something?
No.
Breaking away. We need a little break. Not saying we're breaking from the relationship. I'm just saying, look,
a bit of R&R.
Yeah, some space to time to reflect.
You've gone out somewhere.
You got.
You've
got
with the boys. Or
and it might be overnight. It might be for a few days.
Oh yeah, but that's not happening every week, is it?
No,
that's what I'm saying.
No, it's not. But it's good. Space is a need in a relationship.
Yeah,
but definitely no. There's things that we need in a week to week. There's things that we need in a bi-monthly or bi-quarterly or something. You know what I mean? In terms of and I think space is one.
That is such a key thing because for me, or rather for people that have been married, I've been married for like 9 years now.
Woo!
Yes.
It is so difficult to try and navigate that and interject that R&R. Because you struggle to try and get the couple time, the date nights and whatnot.
Sure.
So to even think about having your own time, it is hard. It is so difficult, but it's so important to try and make sure that you do.
You're due one, aren't you?
That time. Can you tell?
And we're gonna make sure the wife.
I just know you're a workaholic.
Can you
not a workaholic, but you work very, 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 very hard, and you have some awesome children, a whole bunch of awesome children. Love them all.
Thank you.
And I know that. Yeah, you do one, aren't you?
I've had one recently, actually. Yeah,
good.
I've had one recently.
Oh,
so,
did you?
Yeah.
Don't say Christmas period because. Okay. Christmas period. That's different. That's Christmas. That's irrespective of Christmas.
Yeah. Irrespective of Christmas. Yeah.
You do one.
I'm due one.
Okay.
God, you know me so well, Nikima. Okay.
And upon that admission. So what would you guys say that would be I guess, a healthy way of balancing out needs and wants in a relationship. So obviously the needs are going to be there. But maybe when would you know, like, okay, maybe I need to taper off this want. Maybe that's going to cause me a problem in my relationship, or maybe that's going to cause me a problem in my emotional well-being, or maybe that's going to cause me a problem in my psychological well-being. When would you know when to taper that off? Or what would be a good sign? Anybody?
I was thinking about self-reflection. I think, first of all, you have to be self-reflective. Yeah. And if you're not, you're never going to find out what that is. First, and then with that self-reflection, you'll find out, or at least learn to find out what your needs are, or what they potentially can be. Once you find out what your needs are in the relationship and whether they're getting met or not, then you take the next step. Obviously,
I know this may sound mad, but it may be what your aims and goals are to get out of the relationship, get out of a relationship in the first place. Sometimes our wants might not be healthy. Does that make sense? Like,
is it a want then?
Yeah, because you could people could want.
Go on, give me an example.
Give an example, please, Jordan.
You hear the archetypal, like, and it's a mad stereotype, but you hear the archetypal, like, and you see on the internet and on Instagram all the time about girls wanting drug dealers, right?
Oh yeah.
So she wants a drug dealer. She wants somebody.
She don't want no drug dealer.
That might not be. You might want that.
She don't need
that archetype might not be healthy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but she don't need it.
But I wouldn't say that's a need. I think that's a want, isn't it? Like, she might
think she need it as a. Do you know what I mean, though? Like,
yeah, but I mean, she could always get you to dress up and.
She can't get me to
your baggy jeans or whatever.
Get that, what do you call it, the tracksuit on, slip on a gold tooth or something.
You know, I've got a gold tooth. What are you saying?
I said slip on a gold tooth.
I've got one. What are you saying?
Okay, I forgot about that. All right. All right, 2.
No, just the one.
No, I'm saying put on 2 then, innit?
Oh, 2, okay.
But you get my point now. I think it's important to be able to have like an understanding of what your aims and your goals are, what's healthy. What works with you. If your needs are just if your wants are just wants.
Yeah.
Like, everybody want Beyonce, but is Beyonce the right thing for you? Does that make sense? Understand how that,
no, but the thing is, though, if you had a Beyonce, would you drive yourself crazy? Because you'd be wondering if everyone else is watching her, maybe. So not everybody could want a Beyonce, but if you get her, boy.
Yes, exactly.
Not everyone could be a Jay-Z.
That's it, because he's just about holding that thing down.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a match between what's the balance to it?
So when we're talking about needs, we're on about the spiritual, psychological, emotional.
Yeah.
Not necessarily external.
Political.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hello.
Ecological, economic.
Yeah.
But that's what I just thought about. I said, to be fair, one of my needs is that there's a couple of things that pop into my mind. Has to be of African descent. Cannot be anti-African, and that goes to black people as well. Like, you find Caribbean people who experience anti-Africanism.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
I would say that's for a lack of knowledge.
I wouldn't be. I
self-hate.
And unless someone's willing and open to be able to and it's a process in it. It doesn't happen overnight, but
True.
That'll be enough for me to disengage with someone.
Yeah.
From the very beginning,
Absolutely.
There's no point us going any further because it's a useless kind of. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Has to be willing to be cooperative. Has to be able to work in a partnership, work with each other, equally make sacrifices.
Nice.
Like, all the things that I'd expect. You know what I'm saying?
Communication and that sort of thing.
So communication is a difficult one because I think people can have all the best will in the world and communicating effectively. Does that make sense? Like,
very true.
So effective.
As long as you're trying to communicate effectively, I think that's
agreed.
That makes sense.
I would. All right, I agree and I disagree.
Go for it.
Like, I think that if you find that you're not communicating effectively with your partner, you need to figure out what that missing link is. Because if that's the person you're saying that you're rolling with, you need to make sure that that is one of the first things that's taken care of. Because that's the one thing that will make sure that all these kind of discrepancies or half understandings and whatever else are sorted out. So I understand that, you could communicate ineffectively and it could be a problem, but I would say that it's not just something you leave there. I think it has to be something
you can work through that.
out.
Yeah, agreed.
Has to be. But yeah,
I quite like the way that you started, Nakima, about the reflection. So in terms of trying to identify that, I think whether you're single or in a relationship, you do need to kind of start off by having that self-reflection to kind of decipher exactly what it is, which I suppose links in with your point, Jordan. You know, what's your goal? What's your personal goal? Where is it that you want to get to? And are you utilizing your wants to get you there? Or is it your needs to kind of get you there? And sometimes you have to be very, very selfish,
self-compassion,
and cut away the wants, and say, I
agree.
So if your aim is to kind of have the big house, have the flash car, and whatnot, you need to work really hard to kind of get yourself there.
Come on now.
But if you're following your wants and kind of chasing the money and going down the road of making the easy money, that's chasing your wants. You're not going to achieve what it is that you want to get to. And if you are in a relationship and you do that kind of self-reflection through what one of my courses that sorry, am I plugging again?
You're good. Do it. Do your thing.
Through one of my relationship courses.
Yeah.
One thing that I do get couples to do is to spend a whole week not talking to each other. A whole week not saying a single word to each other and just reflecting internally based on what they want from the relationship, and to kind of make a list of what they want from the relationship, what they think their partner wants from the relationship, and what they think their partner wants them to want from the relationship. So those 3 columns. Once they spend that time just reflecting and doing that, then they come together and they share that list. It's amazing the kind of fireworks
that come through
and the misconceptions that they've been living with for such a long time until they actually kind of see that list and compare that list and wow.
So you say not to talk to each other. If he normally asks me if I wanted a cup of tea in the morning, he's not allowed to ask me for a cup of tea.
Nothing.
He's not allowed to.
So if he needs me to do something, how is he meant to communicate that to me?
Like what would he need you to do that he can't do himself?
Well, which is true.
It strips it really back, because the main issue within any relationship that is going through some difficulties is mainly lack of communication. Yeah. So if you're not engaging in effective communication, stop the communication and let's build it up from ground zero.
Definitely.
Pardon and now.
I 1,000% agree with that.
Yeah.
I 1,000% agree with that. In fact,
it works. It
does work. I've done something similar but not the same. So like I would ask the couple to, like, say for instance, kind of starting off how you did as well. So get them to not communicate with each other in terms of like if they wanted to ask for something, and then how do they actually feel about not being able to make that request? How do they then feel that their partner feels about them not being able to make that request of them, and what the discrepancies are between the two? So it's kind of similar. Because
one key thing that I found is even the cup of tea in the morning, that could be the trigger for some of the issues. So the fact that
you made it too milky, you put too much sugar.
I hate it when you ask me. I can do myself.
Exactly. So just stop all that. And strip it back. Yeah.
True.
Profound.
Yeah. But it works.
It does. It's good. So, all right. So what would you say that, like, I guess that we've kind of come to a little bit of a conclusion that a need is communication, because it is definitely a bedrock of all relationships, regardless if it's friendships or romantic or whatever.
You need to be able to communicate, and convey your wants across, or your needs. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Would you say that there's any other needs that maybe that are quite universal to any relationship?
RESPECT.
All right, Aretha. Hey.
It's true though, yeah.
Yeah, respect. Definitely.
I think respect is definitely one key thing. In order to give somebody respect, you would have to respect yourself.
Can you say that one more time, please? Because we like to do the repeat and the rewind.
To give somebody respect, you've got to respect yourself.
Okay, now.
The minute you're disrespecting somebody, you have some issues. You have some low self-esteem or whatever.
You don't respect yourself that much.
You don't respect yourself that much. Yeah. So I think respect is definitely one key thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow. Love it. I can't think of any. There's many, I'm sure.
What would you say about like shared goals? Because again, I'm trying to reflect.
I don't like them.
You don't like them?
Yeah.
Okay. So
and then that's it.
When I say shared goals, I don't mean like, you have to do everything together. Obviously, you should both have your separate goals.
Yeah.
But I think having a shared
so we both want children.
Yeah. Like, if you have one partner that doesn't want children and another one is like, whoa. Or if, like, I don't know, one wants to move to America, the other one wants to stay in the UK. Wow. Or if you get, like, different... it has to be...
There has to be.
Okay.
What are you saying? all I've seen is about to...
He's ready to go.
Okay. Like what are you saying?
What do I think about shared goals? I suppose I misunderstood the
concept of the question.
Because I was thinking more of the line of two people needing to have the same goal or outcome.
No.
Yeah.
I thought you knew me better than that.
He does.
I think in that sense, then a shared goal is quite healthy. I think if you're in a relationship, you both have to want the same endpoint, whether that's, the two kids, dog, cat, and a picket fence or whatever. But obviously understand that how you get there, there's different paths for both of you in terms of working towards that shared goal. But there has to be a unified shared goal in a relationship.
Agreed.
When do you think that should be discussed?
From the first week.
Backside. Okay. All right. True.
Well, we date for purposes.
That is true. We do date
for
purposes.
That is true.
I'm a bit savage.
There's the wants and the needs again.
Is that the wants and the needs? All right.
From the male and the female perspective, yeah?
Yeah. All right, I want to hear what the men's got to say on this. Hold on a second.
Please.
Go
on, Jordan.
Men.
I don't know.
From the first week.
No, I think that's a bit intense.
She's laying it down
That's
for
what
you.
I thought. I actually thought that was a bit intense for the first week, Like, I want kids.
I think from the moment you decide that it's serious, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And that may be different for different people.
All right.
But then again, in certain cultures, that's discussed when the children are like 12, 13. Yeah.
True.
Your parents would start to look at the suitable
that is true.
boy or girl for you based on what the outcome of the family is going to be. So then the needs and the want transcends the individual and goes into the community or the family.
That's true.
Outcome and goal.
So that week don't look so bad now then.
So that week don't look so bad.
Rose, thanks.
But at least it's taken out of your hands, isn't it?
Well, I would like to explain myself.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, please. Please do.
At my age, my dear older age, that's why I'd probably do it sooner rather than later. If I was younger, in my 20s, it might come a little bit later.
Okay.
If I am dating, I'm dating with a purpose. So at least they know what I'm aiming for. Yeah. Not saying there's pressure on that person I'd choose to date that he has to be that one for me. Does that make sense? You can see how it goes. But ultimately, you know that I want to be in a committed relationship and have children and be a unit and be a powerhouse.
Yeah.
That's my goal, and I'd let them know straight up and down so they know what type of woman I am.
See, I don't know if that would run a man. Would that
run
a man?
I would love to hear Jordan's view on that.
Would that run a man, Jordan?
Make them run away. In a way, I'm glad that it would run a man.
I think that the important caveat was talking about age. I think if I was 20, definitely. I'm thinking.
I wouldn't say that.
Going out on a date.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
true.
I'm going out on a date. Like we just come to have like.
I know.
To go on a date,
it's only popcorn.
You know what I mean? Popcorn and a meatloaf. We're sitting in the cinema and they're saying, "Listen, so what we're going to do? I have 2 kids.
Got my little graph. My graph.
And I think,
my projection.
But I don't think it's. As a 28-year-old, I don't think it's unreasonable to say. For someone to ask that'd be a conversation. If you were to go out on a date with someone, maybe not the first date, you might want to get to know each other a little bit.
Yeah,
but maybe by the 3rd date, you might say, "Oh, are you interested in having kids? Like, do you aspire to have kids? What's your aspirations? What does the future look like for you?"
See, I would ask those.
I would ask one of them global kind of questions.
I want to know how to ask that.
I think you're quite unique, Jordan. I think you're unique.
But when I took my girlfriend out for the first time, when I took my current girlfriend out for the first time, I said to her, I said, "What does it does the future look like for you?" I said, "In the ideal world, what does the future look like for you?" And she answered the question.
Yeah.
And then we spoke about it. And after we spoke about it, she said, she laughed and she said, you interviewed me the first time when you interviewed me? And it wasn't really an interview as in like a...
You feeling her out?
Myself, let me just ask the question.
Feeling her out.
What does it look like? Because if you say to me, it looks like going on Love Island.
Oh, dead.
Conversation done.
True.
Like, there's no
True.
It's
a really good question.
And I might not be like the humour and shoot him down one time and tell him... I would just say... Like,
I'm not that ruthless, I promise.
You was with my man.
But you might not go on a second. You might not go on a second date. But it also might work the opposite way. If I say something that she doesn't, if I say, actually, like in like a utopian world. If I say it's in a utopian world, I'd love to be able to like work in different countries. I'd love to be able to move my kids around. I'd love to be able to have kids and just go anywhere in the world and settle down, and experience different cultures and stuff. Like that. And that's not for you. That's cool. Like, do you know what I'm saying to you? But I did ask her that question, and she answered it well.
Okay. But then I think, I don't know, because I wouldn't know how I'd bring that up to a man, you know, like on a date, like one or two, 3 dates maybe, and then I'm like, I want to have kids.
No,
and I want to.
You'd ask the same question.
I'd have to do. As I said, I have to ask Jordan's question. What does your future look like
in 2 years? In 5 years,
and even if you kind of like, I think it's different when you get to a certain age because the conversation might be, do you have kids?
Sure.
Well, true. That's
true.
If you don't, so why not? You interested in having kids?
Perfect.
Do you know what I'm saying? I think that might be a question because I know, like, do you know what I'm saying to you?
And after, if you go out on a Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday, that might be the conversation on the Sunday.
So that is her first week, people. That's her first week. Y'all saw each other too much that week.
But there is no. But I would make it clear there is no pressure on the individual. I'm dating to have a same goal as me. Just understand where I'm at, and I want to understand where you're at. Yeah, things might change in a year's time, 6 months even. You can just see how it goes. Yeah,
I think that is really deep. I'm struggling not to kind of dissect you and kind of analyze that in more detail.
Dissect it, please.
No.
Like,
no psycho-analysing.
Here's the scalpel.
I'm now in it, ready? Operating table.
I want to hear this.
Let's move on.
Oh.
You're not going to dissect?
You're not dissecting?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Not even a little bit?
Not even a little bit.
Not even a slight?
No, me man.
No means no.
Okay. All right then. Okay, so this has been a really interesting chat.
Loved it.
It's been fun. Guys, thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll catch you next time on the Sweet Talks podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.